The Chicago Bulls put on a spanking last night versus the Brooklyn Nets. And in that game, my young bull, Buzelis, posted a career high. I'm here to let you know that young fella has star potential. And Josh Giddey got himself a trip dub last night. But will he start to be a little bit more consistent for us in the Chicago Bulls? All that plus a little bit more. But you already know you gotta hear the music first.
Cognac, gang.
Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on today's daily episode. If you're tuned in with me for the first time, welcome to the show. Hit the like button and subscribe. And for my family members that's returning to the show, welcome back in. Some things to talk about on today's episode. Now, we talk about the game last night to where the Chicago Bulls put a spanking on the Brooklyn Nets. But let's keep it real. The Brooklyn Nets had 5 players out. Hey, they competed hard early in the game, and then Zach LaVine decided to turn the hat backwards and go off. But outside of that, you know what I'm saying, we seen some performances from Josh Giddey that was pretty decent. You know what I'm saying, pretty good. I ain't gonna cut him short. And then you talk about Buzelis, who came to the forefront and really provided some excitement for the young Chicago Bulls team. You ask me, I feel like he should have ran the rest of the fourth quarter. That's just a personal thing. That's probably just me being a little bit too greedy for wanting to see more and more of this young player. But nonetheless, the Chicago Bulls got it done by simply killing the Brooklyn Nets. And when it came to keeping the field goal percentage above theirs, destroyed them with the rebounds 54-41 and destroyed them in the paint 62-40. So shout out to the Chicago Bulls for getting it done. Now, before we get into the Montes talk, do gotta let you guys know that we have an update on Patrick Williams. Billy Donovan said he has begun ramping up again. He's running and he's jumping. Hopefully he will be back soon. So shout out to P. Will for letting that inflammation go down in the foot. Shout out to the team. Hopefully he's back on the court sooner rather than later, because we need him on that basketball court to get those reps nonetheless. Now, let's talk about Montes. Buzelis last night posted his career high with 20 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks on 70% per shooting from the field, and he went 4 of 5 from the three-point line. My man's even added 2 blocks to his night and was able to go out there and make sure that the Chicago Bulls world get to see our young budding prospect. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the guys that was projected to go in the top part of the draft, but failed all the way down to the Chicago Bulls. Man, was that a card to pull. Man, was that a card to pull. You know what I'm saying? For the Chicago Bulls, y'all know how the Jack Black dealer be. They're going to shuffle up a bunch of cards, pass them all around the table. You either going to tap the table or you're going to nudge them away. You know, other things, but nonetheless, keep it real simple. And when the Bulls picked up those 2 cards, they said, hey, hold on, you telling me this young prospect, Montes Buzelis, is ready to go and he right here for me for the taking? I'll take him. And I'm with you. It was one of those things too. I was like, hold on, we finna take this young fella. Hold on, how did this guy fall? What happened? Was it injuries? I had to do a little bit of homework, but I'm like, no, it just wasn't none of that. But shout out to those teams that passed up on him, because we will happily take them, at least for right now. And the reason I say that Montes Buzelis has that star potential is to start with everything that's inside of him. We're talking about the mentality. I have not once seen Josh Giddey scared. Did it always look clean on the basketball court? No. He's a rookie. He's still learning his way, still trying to find his way in this league. But I will commend him for always coming in the game looking like he ready for some smoke. And I'm talking about attacking the basket, you know what I'm saying, cutting to the basket. I'm talking about defending shots, blocking shots, being active on the defensive end to where we was like, hey, in summer league, this young fella really got to touch up on his defense. We know that he can clean up a couple things, but the on-ball defense has to be a little bit better. And so far, it has gradually gotten better on the defensive end and has gradually gotten better for Montes Buzelis on the offensive end. Now, a lot of things come into play with that, but right now, the mentality of this young fella is much different from prospects that we've seen into that door in the last few years. I'm talking about the edge that Montes Buzelis has. I'm talking about that edge. The man comes in, put his head down, goes to work. I'm talking about taking guys into the basket, even if it don't even work out for him. Yesterday, I seen him nudge his shoulder at somebody. I thought he was trying to enter the end zone from the 1 yard line for my football fans. That's just how I look at Montes Buzelis. The tenacity for this young prospect, this young fella is there. That's what you get out of star players. Guys that's going to talk greasy. Guys that's going to talk that smack. Sometimes more so than others. But when you poke the bell, you know you dealing with a star when they can rise to the occasion. Look, Montes Buzelis still has his ways to go, but the star potential is evident. This guy is 6'10" and can move very, very well. The handle is decent. I wouldn't even say decent. I would say the handle is good, and it's going to get better. The rebounding ability has been there. The three-point shot is looking cleaner, and it's starting to fall. I just personally want Montes Buzelis to get more consistent. That's it. And it's obvious that my man is battling for minutes. Sometimes you got to deal with Billy Donovan, only wanting to play 4 minutes a game, only want to play 10. Some games play 16. Let's try to find some balance for this young fella. You know what I'm saying? Because outside of, okay, I understand the politics. We're trying to pay Patrick. You know what I'm saying? You pay Patrick Williams, so you want to give him every opportunity to start. And I'm not saying Montes Buzelis is absolutely ready to take over the reins. But Billy Donovan, in your coaching staff, could you have possibly been dropping the ball with not starting Montes in these spots? I'm just saying. Now, there could be some pushback when you talk about it and you look at Julian Phillips, who a guy that's more ready than Montes Buzelis as of right now today. But is he going to be ready when Montes get ready? That's the biggest question. When Montes Buzelis is ready to jump off the trampoline into the ball pit, we know he's going to be the guy. So with Billy Donovan, in the absence of Patrick Williams, placing Torrey Craig in there, that's a missed opportunity for me. That's a missed opportunity for me. Me personally, no, it wouldn't be no discussion if Billy Donovan would have said, hey, Julian Phillips, you starting, not Torrey Craig. The Torrey Craig starting for me, if you was going to start Torrey Craig, and that's no disrespect to the vet because I still think he's a solid player. I don't necessarily think he's a bum. I just think that right now, this young team, you could have went the Julian Phillips route, or you very well could have looked at the Montes Buzelis route to get a young guy some minutes. I seen one of the games, I was begging for them. Let Montes Buzelis go guard Giannis a couple weeks ago. Look, somebody said that, hey, it might kill his confidence. Me personally, I don't think it would have phased him. I think it would have made him a better player. You know what I'm saying? Each game, he's going to get better. But to go out there and guard Giannis and I'm not saying he has to solely guard Giannis, but give him some run to where he gonna end up on Giannis on some possessions. Give him some run. Let him feel the physicality and the dominance of a superstar in this league. That, to me, will only feed his hunger. Montes, if I say this, if Montes Buzelis, let's just say for the sake of discussion, would have guarded Giannis a couple weeks ago, guarded Giannis, we'll say for the sake of discussion, let's just say he guarded Giannis about 5-10 minutes. Those 5-10 minutes would have been some of the hardest possessions of his young NBA career right now. He would have learned something and took away something out of that. And I'm pretty sure the way that I believe Montes Buzelis operates, I really, really believe that Montes Buzelis would have went to Giannis like, hey, big dog, what kind of workout regime you want? I ain't saying Montes Buzelis got to get that bulky and big, but to put on some weight and be forceful like that in the paint, You will want to learn at least something, be able to talk to somebody and grab something from that so you can apply that to your game. So that's all I'm trying to see. And it's obvious that Montes Buzelis is a part of the Bulls' future. He ain't coming into this situation how a Dalen Terry came into this situation, how Orla Bateen came into the situation. I wouldn't go too far with Julian Phillips because he was a top recruit going into college, dealt with some injuries. So you kind of knew what you were kind of getting. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't all the way there. So I will still go out on a limb and say Montes Buzelis didn't come in at the rate of Julian Phillips, or Orlot Bateem, or Marko Simonovic. This ain't one of those guys. This guy coming in, he looks a little bit more prepared than those players previously mentioned. Give him the run. Give him the run. I know it's gonna be. We got trade things going on. The Bulls trying to make sure these players that potentially are gonna get traded get some tick, get themselves on some film and some good light and some good moments. But hey, at some point, you got to stop this nonsense and put them in. You got to stop the nonsense and put them in. That's all I'm saying. Now, on to Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey got himself, woke up, messed around, and got a triple-double. Shout out to Ice Cube, by the way, because yesterday was a good day. And I'm hoping today y'all have a good day. But we talking about Josh Giddey. My man's got himself a triple-double yesterday, and it was good. I'm not going to throw no shade on him. It was good. I appreciate it. There's some things that we can nitpick at. It wasn't necessarily great, but for the most part, it was good to see him get his first triple-double for the Chicago Bulls by posting 20 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists, a block, and a steal. The problem is that Josh Giddey, 1 for 8 for 3 ain't going to cut it. And I think that's too many threes for me per se. I said I wanted to keep him around. Let's go between 4 to 6 attempts a game. You start creeping into 8 and you know you ain't really like that right now. It's a bit too much for me. But this is what the Bulls play style call for. So you can't necessarily be upset with it. But I would want Josh Giddey to attack the basket a little bit more. You know what I mean? And for a guy that's 6'8", where's his post moves? Where are they? Where are his post moves for a guy that's 6'8"? I understand the passing ability. I love the driving ability that he has, though I do feel like he doesn't utilize it the best. I think he has some type of ability there to attack the basket, but I don't feel like he should utilize it the best. But a guy that's 6'8", I gotta have questions like, where is the post move? And that's the thing that bothers me a lot today about the NBA. But that ain't that discussion. You know what I'm saying? Big ass guys got little guys on them, but still want to chuck the three or still take the midi. You know what I'm saying? Let's fight force with force and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to Josh Giddey, I like, again, the triple-double, shout out to you. But I need more consistency out of Josh Giddey. This guy is 6'8". There is no reason why on any given night, like a few games ago, he ended up with 2 rebounds versus the Magics. Unacceptable. Even if you're not affecting the team in the point total box, you can affect the game in other ways. We've been talking about this on this platform for years. If you can't put the ball in the basket, you can affect the game in other ways. It's part of the reason why a lot of us love Alex Caruso. We know Alex Caruso was not finna give us 30 every single night, but what Alex Caruso was going to give us was a consistent 8 points at a minimum. He was going to hit a couple threes, attack the basket. He was going to defend his tail off. He was going to go out there and cause some charges, and he was going to get in the driving lanes and wreak havoc on the opposing team. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that Josh Giddey should be doing all of those things, but I will say if it's not working offensively in different spots, find other ways to be effective. And that's all I'm saying. And definitely give more effort for yourself on the defensive end. You know what I'm saying? And then on the offensive end, these nights happen. Let's not get it twisted. These nights happen of players going 1 for 8 or they go 0 for. But Josh Giddey, I'm looking at the Hawks, November 22nd, 1 of 3 for the 3. Before that, versus the Bucks, 1-4 versus the Bucks. The Pistons, 1-4. The Rockets, 1-6. The Cavs, 1-5. The Wizards, 0-1. The Celtics, 0-2. I can't have that. And I don't want him forcing shots. I clearly don't want him going 1-8. But I need some more consistency. I need some more consistency out of Josh Giddey in every statistical category. We know that it's going to be a bit fluctuated, you know what I'm saying, with him being a point guard of this team and kind of just going with the flow and allowing Kobe to do him and Vooch to do him and Zach LaVine to do him. But I need the consistent player. I can't have Josh Giddey getting yanked out of games versus the Cavs a few weeks ago with only playing 15 minutes. If I traded for you and believe that you are my starting point guard for the future, I cannot have that. I cannot have that. And how many games has Josh Giddey sat out in the closing minutes? Look, I don't believe that you absolutely have to finish a game if you start it. You go with the best lineup. It's obvious. But even in some of the damn games to where Josh Giddey was okay, he still can't finish the damn lineup because the defensive effort is not there. Yes, we like how you can pass. Yes, we love how you can drive to the basket at times. There are things that we like. But one thing that we respect over here on Shy Bulls podcast, what do you look like on the defensive end? I'm not saying that this guy has to go be all defensive team, but some guys just trash at it. They're trash at defense. But what you know what can come, you know how most players can overcome their problems on the defensive end? Simply showing effort. Simply showing effort. Nobody here thinks that Zach LaVine is an outstanding defender. But this season, we seen Zach LaVine be decent. We seen him be good in games. Not necessarily looking to score, but looking to do a little bit of everything else. We've seen that growth from Zach LaVine. Josh Giddey is still young in age. He's still young. He got ways to go. But please, let's find that consistency. Find that consistency, Josh Giddey. Because it's a lot of people. Me personally, I'm giving you the entire year. All players don't always start off the season well. You know what I'm saying? Things happen. You know, if you look at one of ours in Ayo Dosunmu, we see Ayo Dosunmu. Typically, if you look at his stats year over year, he doesn't start off well, but he finishes. You know what I'm saying? He gets better and better as the year goes on and finish as strong as he can. That's how it is. It's a consistent upward, trend for Ayo Dosunmu. Josh Giddey, right now, you've been kind of up and down for me. We need to plateau and let's get on a good trajectory for how you are going to play and be consistent for this team. It is not the end all be all, but we need a little bit more consistency to come out of Josh Giddey. But shout out to him for his trip dub. Let's be better. Let's look at the film. Let's go out there and be better. Josh Giddey is talking about how this offense got the firepower, but they need to step up defensively. I would argue, Josh Giddey, you're the point guard. It starts with you. It starts with you. Typically, you're the first guy that a team is going to approach when they bring in the ball up. Typically. So be better, man. Be better. We want what's best for you. Some people they saying they done with you. I'm giving you the entire year because I feel like you deserve that much, like just about mostly all the other players. You've seen some glimpses of it. You've seen some things that you like, some things that you don't like. So I'm going to give you a little time. But I can't argue with some of the people who say they're completely off because that's just how some people operate. But it is what it is. But it is what it is. But that is it for me today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode. Before you get up out of here, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell as well. Y'all make sure you always see red. And y'all already know I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure.
Cognac. Gang.